Well, good afternoon and welcome to the porch. Thought we'd make a video this afternoon. Usually like to make these in the mornings uh, before I put in a day's work, but it, it's been so cold here in Arkansas that it's been snowing. It's hard to get out here in the mornings when it's in single digit numbers and it's just cold. So anyway, it warmed up a little bit this afternoon. I thought, well, I better try to go ahead and make a video today and try to stay up with things as much as I can. Now, the video we're going to do today, and the subject is going to be on doing good things. Now, that may sound simple, but I got to tell you something. This is life changing stuff. It will change who you are, and it will change the people around you. My wife and I, we've always been people that like to be generous and give. And I don't say that to draw attention to her and I. It's just a way of life for us. And we've really done it for years and years and years without much thought. We just do it because it's the right thing to do. But we were talking here it's been a few months ago. We were talking about it. And we thought, well, we don't even keep up with the things we do to help other people and help each other. And I thought, well, maybe that's a mistake, and don't not to keep up with it so people can recognize us because we just don't tell people about the good we do most of the time. We kind of keep that to ourselves. That's just something we like to do. But anyway, we thought, well, it might not be a bad idea just to kind of pay attention for our own benefit to what we do and kind of track what we do a little bit so we know whether we're kind of slacking off or maybe speeding up a little bit. So we talked about it and we decided, well, what we're going to do is we're going to try to do at least three good things a day that's notable, things that we can write down in the afternoon. And I like to sit down and really just, think about these things and write them down. Now, I learned something by that. And I didn't know this was going to happen. But even though we like to help people, eh, I I I started noticing that I like to do it even more when I kind of got to looking at it and paying attention to it. And at first when I looked at it and started writing it down, I found out that doing three good things a day that's notable. I'm not just talking about if your job's to carry out the garbage or mow the lawn, that's your job. That's not a good thing you've done for somebody. It's extra. That's just normal life. I'm talking about three good things a day that you can actually write down that's notable. Little things. It don't have to be big things, but it's just something out of the normal, something you wouldn't ordinarily do. And you can do little things like, well, like get up in the morning and make the coffee, and then go ahead and get your wife a cup of coffee when she gets up and hand it to her. That's not normal for me. I'd like to tell you that it is, but it's really not. As a norm, my wife gets up, she makes a coffee, and uh, she'll hand me a cup. But I decided, well, it wouldn't be a bad idea if I did that for her. It makes a guy get to thinking is what it does. Well, anyway, that's one of the things you can do. And and I'm going to tell you a little story. And again, this is not to bring attention to me because I don't need the attention. It just doesn't matter to me, but I like doing good things for folks. But I was down at the restaurant the other morning eating breakfast. And I'd by myself, and the little old girl that was waiting at tables, I could tell she was having a bad day. She wasn't doing a very good job of waiting at tables, but I could tell something was really bothering her. And as a general rule, if people don't do a good job waiting tables, they don't get a tip, or at least not a very big one. But I thought about that a little bit, and I thought, you know what? If this little old girl is having a hard time, maybe I can brighten her day. So when I got ready to leave, I handed her a fairly sizable tip. And the countenance just changed. Her face, it just lit up. And she didn't say, why did you do that? It just lit up. Now, I wasn't going to tell her why I done it. I done it because I wanted to. But anyway, when I walked out of there and got my truck, sat down and started it, and I thought about that a few minutes, and I thought, you know what? She was having a bad day, And because you chose to do one good thing, you may have changed her whole day. Now, I don't know that I did, but I think I did. As I could tell, it really made a difference to her. And there's so many other things you can do. It's like, well, and again, I tell these stories just to tell the story, not to get recognition for them. I feel almost bad about telling them, but I think it does people good. I think it'll help people. I was in a restaurant the other day, and I was sitting there eating. Looked across the room. There was a little fellow over there, and muscled up young guy, probably in his late teens or early 20s. And the waitress went over there, and she was talking to him. And I heard him talking about he on leave from the military, and he was just down for a visit with his family. And boy, he was putting that food away. That young man was hungry, I could tell. And the waitress come over to get me another cup of coffee, and I said, "Hey," I said, "don't charge that fella for his breakfast." I said, "When I get ready to go, I'll pay for it." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to pay for it." I said, "I don't want him to know who done it." I said, just tell him somebody anonymous done it." And she just smiled, and I could tell that made her day. And then that young man serving our country made his day. And I'll tell you something else. It made my day. It made me feel good to do that. Well, that's been a few months ago, and I've been doing that ever since. I try to do at least 3 good things a day, but what I've noticed is I'm doing more than that now, and I'm excited about it. Now, here's the change for us, and every good thing we do changes other people too, but this is a change for us. I was about to pay out at some store, some business the other day, and I seen a jar on the counter there for Children's Hospital. And boy, when I seen that, I just almost jumped. I thought, boy, there's me an opportunity to do something good for somebody. Now, I didn't do this so the person at the counter could see me or anything, but it was just like it's right in front of me. I can do something good, and I don't even have to hunt it. It's right there in front of me. It's an opportunity. So instead of looking at things as like, well, I hate to give any money away or anything, I was excited about it. And I got to tell you something, folks. That Children's Hospital thing right there, that's a good place to give. My wife, she been giving that for years, and I'll tell you something. I see what some of those folks go through, some of them moms and dads and them little children, and that hospital takes care of them no charge. You bet you I'll give to that. And I gave a little bit to it. I left out there, I felt good. And I'll tell you what it's done to me. It's caused me to look for opportunities to give. It you know, it makes me feel so good to give and to know that I'm doing something for somebody that don't have things. I look around me sometimes and I think, you know, I I live in a little old house that ain't very big. I'm not even gonna tell you how small it is. It's pretty small. Uh, and I drive an old Dodge truck that's got more miles on it than a used space shuttle. It gets me there and back. It's a good old truck, but it's got a lot of miles on it. Every once in a while, I have to fix something on it because it tears up pretty regular. But I'm a happy fella. I'm happy because I can give to other people. I look at what some people don't have, and I look at some of these third world countries, and I tell you what, folks, sometimes we just need to look at what we got. And I had an old preacher man one time. I was helping put an air conditioner in his house. It's hot weather, and they didn't have no money, him and his wife, and they were in their 80s. And I said, "Brother," I said, "how do you do it?" He said, "Oh, I don't worry about it none." He said, "I'll tell you, when you think you got it bad," he said, "just look around you. Somebody else has got it worse." And I've never forgotten that. That's been probably somewhere around 40 years ago he told me that, and I've never forgotten it. Every time I get to thinking I need to mully grub about what I don't have, I think about what somebody else don't have, and then I forget about what I got. Well, I say I forget about it. I don't really do that. I start thanking the good Lord that I got what I got. Well, anyway, I appreciate you guys listening to an old man ramble. And if I can leave you with anything today, if you get a chance, change your life by just starting that little exercise. Just say to yourself, I'm going to do 3 notable good things today for other people. And they don't have to be big things. And I'm going to sit down at night and I'm going to actually write that down. Write it down so you can see it. Something about writing it down works better. Write it down where you can see it. And I'll tell you what I think. I want to ask you to do this for 3 months, okay? Now, if you don't want to, of course, obviously you don't have to, but I'm going to ask you to do it for 3 months. And I want you to see how it changes you. But along the way, you're going to see changes in people that you do good things to. Maybe there's little short changes, maybe a face lighting up, maybe a thank you, may even be a hug here and there. But do it for 3 months. And if it don't work, just quit. But leave me a comment and tell me it didn't work. Or better yet, leave me a comment to read and tell me how good it is working, okay? All right, I'm going to quit rambling, guys. I love you guys. Hope this helps somebody. I think every once in a while, if I'll talk enough, I'll say something that'll actually help people. So anyway, signing off, guys. Have a good day.